I started with Powerboard on the 16th of January 1967 and I finished on 25th of March, I think it was, in 2017. Well, I started off at Hawke's Bay Electric Powerboard as an apprentice electrician and went through the various different departments, and as you do that during apprenticeship. Also, the apprentices back in those days were loaned out to other companies, and I went to Waddies for 3 months, I think it was, and I ended up staying for 9 months and then came back to Unison. So you were actually getting industrial electrical experience. Became registered electrician and then went into the electrical fitters department and stayed there for the rest of the time with Unison. When I started as an apprenticeship, the Powerboard was in Herretonga Street through to Eastbourne Street in Hastings, and that's basically where we worked. 5 years after I started, they built their Howard Street yard and all the lines teams were down there, and they also had a branch in Napier, and then later they bought the Napier City Council, or MED as it was known, and then they amalgamated that into that, and they ran a branch from there. The Napier branch moved to there. Electrical fitters used to go out and build and maintain substations all around the whole of the network area. I actually was in charge of building a new substation at Flaxmere. When I say in charge, I was the foreman on site. Marewa, the new Hastings substation, which just before I left, we put new switchgear in it again, because originally we put second-hand switchgear into it. But I worked in every substation they had right through the whole of the Hawke's Bay area. Oh, we had a stage where in the 70s we had some reasonable sized earthquakes at night, not all during the day, but mainly at night for some unknown reason, where they would knock out some of the substations, and you'd have to go out in the night and reset equipment and help the troublemen and all that sort of thing. Also storms, we'd go and help the troublemen at times. Fault stuff, yeah, they were called troublemen back in those days. Oh, because any trouble in the lines or the equipment, they were the ones who went and fixed it. But they also, in their time when they were not doing that work, back in that era, they used to fix stoves and things as well. I really enjoyed just building new substations and things like that, and working on equipment that was new, and some was more technically challenging than others, and I really enjoyed those technically challenging pieces of machinery. Because our job really was not only electrical. As an electrical fitter, there's a lot of mechanical in it, and there's a lot of the mechanical affected the electrical, and the electrical affected mechanical, but not always things that you could see on a piece of paper as to how things worked. There were some very, very good people working in the company, always have, and still do, and I just enjoyed working with the people. There was minimum tools and pretty basic. Whereas workshops today are pretty well equipped. Or back then, it was more casual, but if you worked on lines, you had to have a line belt. If you were anywhere near electrical stuff above your head, or people working above your head, you always had to wear a hard helmet. You had to wear rubber insulating gloves operating certain equipment and things like that. Overalls disappeared in summertime, came on in winter when it was a bit cooler, or if you're on really grubby sites. Now they're mandatory and you have to wear all sorts of things. Oh, vehicles were bought new, and then they were run until they'd done a huge amount of work and then sold off as real old dungers. And a lot of what some departments got was new, and others got pass-me-downs.